Finally, I'm just going to briefly go over some rulemaking that we're going to be doing later today. I'm sure all of you are here to listen to the first part and not this part, but I'm just going to kind of go highlight how this process is going to work later on. As all of you know, the Texas Medical Board is proposing amendments to 22 TAC 165 by adding subchapter B, new rule, section 165.7 through 165.9, concerning exceptions to the abortion ban. The proposed rules have been published on the board's website at the following link. We can put that out there for everyone. The public may submit written comments on the proposed rule using a web form link that will be on the site. The proposed rules do not regulate or prohibit abortion, but are being promulgated to clarify the regulatory analysis to be utilized by the Texas Medical Board for our licensees. The rules are drafted, or as drafted, reaffirm that when investigating any complaint, it will be conducted consistent with the standard processes and disciplinary authority that applies to all complaints and investigations. Two other things that I will highlight, and I will say this later on in the meeting when we start looking at the proposed rule, is that as there is pending litigation around this issue, the Attorney General's office was consulted on this issue prior to rule language consideration. Also, the thing that I would also reiterate is the language that was put in the Texas Supreme Court ruling, which states that a woman who meets the medical necessity exception need not seek a court order to obtain an abortion. Under the law, it is a doctor who must decide that a woman is suffering from a life-threatening condition during a pregnancy, raising the necessity for an abortion to save her life or to prevent impairment of a major bodily function. The law leaves to physicians, not judges, both the discretion and the responsibility to exercise their reasonable medical judgment given the unique facts and circumstances of each patient. And as you will see later today, the way the rule will be presented is to, number one, help define what some of those definitions are that are already existing in the code, as well as the process of which we will consider a complaint if it comes to us as a medical board as we look at physician judgment, and also a directive to physicians on how to document, and also looking at medical necessity, just like we would with any other case that's out there. So when we look for guidance, a lot of it is more about process also, and what we feel that physicians should be doing as they consider exceptions as we are defining it in law. So there will be more to come on that later on. There is a larger statement that will be released to the press later on also, so you'll be able to have that. And again, I will kind of go over this again as we get to that part of the rulemaking a little bit later on in the day. Just so that all of you know, we're going to be going through the entire agenda of the medical board first. There's a whole process to that, including listening to some cases that involves physicians specifically. Those sometimes take a little bit of time. When we go into executive session, which is when we start deliberating the issue itself, typically speaking, all of you would exit, but we're not going to do that today. We as a medical board will exit the room and go into executive session. And then as we finish our executive session, we will come back and start the meeting over again. At the end of the meeting, and again, I'll try to expedite most of this until we get to the rulemaking process, we will lay out what the rule looks like. We will read it out. We will debate it amongst the board members ourselves. We'll be able to ask some questions, and then we will consider what it looks like as far as putting it out, or as far as approving it as is, or with amendments, or possibly even not approving it at all. Once that happens, if there's an approval, the process will continue afterwards in a 30-day period of a comment period where the public and other stakeholders can actually provide comment. There may be a stakeholder meeting that we will announce at some point, also to allow for some more input. Those will all be announced at later dates. Toward the end of the meeting, we will also open the board for public comment. We do that for every single meeting. I'm sure that today most of the comment will be about one specific issue, but our intent is to allow everyone to speak. We give everyone 3 minutes. This is not a dialogue between the board and the public. It's an opportunity for the public to make comments, again, with that 3-minute limit, and be able to provide that input to the medical board. But again, we'll go through that process a little bit later on in the day.